Okay, now we begin video 4, picking it up from on row 21. Row 21 wants us to single crochet eight single crochets for the row. So as usual, we find our first stitch, and I did, by the way, stuff it a little bit more as I go along. One, gently move my marker. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pull up as my routine. I pull up the stitch. I cross off what row I just finished, and I move my stitch marker up. Now row 22 wants us to increase once again 1 stitch in the beginning of the row. So now we will have 9 stitches in our row. So let's do row 22 together. Put our hook back in there, and as increasing 1 stitch in the beginning of the row instead of 1 single crochet here. Let's see. We're going to do 2. And it will be 7 single crochets the rest of the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're done with that row. Mark it once again. That was row 22. And we move our marker up. Now the next 2 rows, 23 and 24, they want us to do 9 single crochets per row. 1 single crochet per stitch that we have. 1, 2, 3, taking out more yarn. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're done with that row. We cross it off. That was row 23. We move our marker up. And now we're going to do 24, which is the same thing. 9 single crochets, 1 single crochet at each stitch below. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, 9. We only need 9. Sorry for the noise around. The landscapers are out, and I'm outside my back porch. So we first, our routine, we check out 24, move the stitch up, and we're ready to do row 25. Row 25, hopefully you have your instructions in front of you as well, so you can follow through. I just stick my stuffing a little bit more and maybe add a little bit more, gradually add as I go along. I find that the best way, instead of waiting for it to be too long before adding some stuffing rather. Okay, now we're gonna do 25, which again asks us to increase 1 stitch in the beginning of the row. We had 9 before, now we'll have 10. Increase on the beginning of the row, 1, add 1 more in the same stitch, 2, and then 8 more to equal 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. My work is getting wider, that's great. So pull up the stitch, cross off 25, move my stitch marker up. 26 and 27, that is rows 26 and 27, wants us to just single crochet 10 in each row. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you can see it's getting easier and easier to turn the work as we get wider and wider and we get more stitches in our tube. That was 10. Pull it up. I did row 26. 1 more row of 10. Move my marker. Ooh, almost forgot to do that. Jiggle. This is my first stitch of the next row. They want us to do 10 more single crochets in row 27. Once again, pardon the noise. The landscapers are out in my neighbor's yard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that was row 27, 10 stitches, and I move my stitch marker up. Row 29, rather, no, we go do row 28. We increase 1 again in the beginning of the row to make it 11 stitches all together. One more in that row, in that stitch, 2, and 9 the rest of the time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, mark that row 28 and move our stitch marker up, and row 29 wants us to do straight across the round in the next row 11 single crochets. So we've marked our first row stitch rather, and we're going to do 11. 1, let's see, make sure you don't go into your marker. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Whoops, I only need 11. And see, mark it. We did 29 with 11 stitches, and move our stitch marker up. Now row 30 calls for an increase once again, the beginning of the row, and 10 single crochets, totaling 12 stitches. So here's row 30 for you. One more in the same stitch, 2, 1 single crochet in every stitch after that, so that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So now we have 12 stitches in the row. We mark it down as finished with row 30. We move our marker up, and I would stuff a little bit more because I find this better than waiting till it's a little too deep. Here we go, just a little bit as we go along, stuff as we go along. 30, that's 31. Okay, now we're going to take a little break.